his career, and the Lions opening up an 11-point lead. Stephen Giles is warming up on the sideline. Looks like he's going to come in. And Jonathan Hefney didn't help his team's cause a few times today. And it's not Giles. It will be Alex Brink. Giles has been warming up.
And the crowd shows their feelings about Alex Brink remaining in this football game. But Paul LaPolice sort of made his commitment earlier in the week.
Well, curious decision to start Brink this week, and met with a lot of
Major
derision.
Foul. Unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg number 23.
Another
15-yard penalty.
unnecessary roughness call by Hefney. This is unbelievable.
Well, Kavis Reed is trying to settle Hefney down on the field. At the end of the return, takes a little poke at J.R. LaRose.
I don't know what he's thinking here today. That's a number of times
Well,
right in the face of
officials. He should be extra cautious with the way his day has gone.
Kavis Reed commanding his attention. So Brink stays in, and one hopper. And I know the leash was long, but the game is getting shorter. And Stephen Giles has the experience. Right now, you're down 11. And Alex Brink has only completed 3 of 17. 0 for his last 10. Looking over the middle for Jeffers Harris. Read perfectly by Ryan Phillips. And that might be the last series for Alex Brink, but who knows? We didn't expect to see Alex Brink this week with a healthy Stephen Giles.
This is their season. For the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, this is their season. Their only playoff shot is to catch the BC Lions for the crossover. In order to do that, they need to win 3 of their last 5 football games.
Davis will turn. Finally contained. He has turned this game completely around here in the second half, and then Geroy Simon has certainly helped out. And of course, the guy who has that Superman pose tells us a little bit about the genesis of his touchdown celebration.
My son, again, he's maybe 2 years old, and you know, he used to watch all the superheroes, the Superman, Batman, and I think in one of the Batman movies, he's standing there and he's, you know, the light shining, and you kind of see him in his silhouette. And I was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool to kind of do something like that, and you know, kind of put Superman and Batman and Power Rangers all together, and came up with the pose.
Well, that pose has been seen 90 times after touchdown receptions in his career. Geroy Simon. Simon says touchdown again. Superman, Batman, Simon Man.
And with the game on the line, I'll take the guy in the middle.
Yeah, I will too. Geroy Simon, son Jaden, now a young football player in Vancouver area. 4 catches today, 37 yards. Sure proud of his daddy today. Geroy says his son does that pose every once in a while to get to the house. Lule looking for Emmanuel Arsenault. Jump ball. Arsenault's there. After Dion Beasley was left in the dust, and the BC Lions continue to assault the Blue Bomber defense.
Well, Dion Beasley on the outside ends up falling down as the ball's in the air, and Travis Lule is bailed out by that slip and fall because he threw a bit of a duck on this one. The ball hung up in the air, but with Beasley out of the way, Arsenault was able to make the easy catch.
Third quarter that has seen a Winnipeg Blue Bomber team absolutely implode. Their playoff hopes on the line. If they lose to BC, they're out in the East. Lule run under it. There still is hope, albeit very faint. The pulse is faint for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now. They need this game.
And that goes back to the entire decision at quarterback. They came in knowing they needed this game, and in defense of head coach Paul LaPolice, there's been a lot of speculation through this week that as to whether or not this was his decision to start Alex Brink or whether the pressure came from above.
4 receivers to the right. Lule will look there. And a knockdown. Key one, critical one right now for the Blue Bombers. Can ill afford to give up another touchdown here in what has been a one-sided third quarter.
As the BC Lions line up, hoping to get a field goal. A look at the trend. Their last 6 games in which they've been very successful, outscoring their opponents badly in the second and third quarters of ball games.
Still tons of time in this game. Over 5 minutes in the third quarter. The Bombers certainly can get a spark back. Sean White 2 for 2 on a couple of long field goal attempts. This really a chip shot. Perfect day for him. BC Lions extend their lead. On TSN is brought to you in part by Husqvarna. Taming the wild with Husqvarna leaf blowers and chainsaws. Well, the Winnipeg Blue Bomber faithful asked for it, and they have got it. Alex Brink now on the sideline. Very inauspicious debut. Stephen Giles now at quarterback. But the Bombers, who had a lead at halftime, now trail by 14. Giles completes his first pass to Fred Reed. And nothing against Alex Brink. Certainly great to get your first start. Maybe LaPolice had some intuition or saw something in practice, but it's his first start ever. And how many times have we been down the road watching a first-time starter struggle?
Quarterbacks take time, and there's plenty of reason to believe that Alex Brink has a bright future, but tough to win your first start.
Especially in a game that is so important, paramount. Not able to hang on. And a missile from Giles. Brock Ralph. Stanley Franks shadowing him.
Well, Franks, another one of the terrific rookies on this BC Lions defense. All over Brock Ralph, all over that route. Tough vote for Rookie of the Year here in Vancouver.
Yeah, with the BC Lions. Not only Solomon Aluminium, but that guy, Giannis Davis. And of course, Stanley Franks. There's a good kick. They keep it away from Davis. This guy could scamper too. Andrew Harris, former junior star who actually won the Wally Buono Award to the best junior football player. Now Wally, of course, his coach. Here's our Purelator sack attack. And you can see all the quarterback sacks this season, brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check.
And these two teams continuing to challenge for the league lead, each adding 2 to their respective tally here today. Winnipeg, of course, led by those 2 dominant defensive ends, Odell Willis and Philip Hunt. BC doing it by committee this season.
Lule, well, a few times he's gone behind center, so going to run the football here. Final 3 minutes of the third quarter. To talk about how special teams change the complexion of ball games. That's exactly what's happened here. Giannis Davis taking that ball back, deflating any type of momentum that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had.
Well, one of the great stories of this season. A year ago, 7 kick return touchdowns through the entire season. This year, we've still got a few weeks to go. We're at 15 already.
Giannis Davis has scored 4 different ways. Can you say Marcus Thigpen scored 5 times? 5 different ways. And Robertson plows forward for the first down to the Winnipeg 44-yard line.
Davis has been such a difference maker for the BC Lions. In this league, it's so critical to have good kick returners. The importance of field position, the importance of the kicking game and 3-down football. Every team recognizing it, and the numbers bear that out. Everybody wants to have a great returner.
And not only touchdowns, but field position. The field position has improved game to game since Giannis Davis has been added. The pitch this time to Jamal Robertson. Heavy hitting going on down there, but the BC feature back runs for another good gain, 6 yards.
Jamal Robertson has been so reliable for the BC Lions on the ground this year. Good season for Toronto last year, his first full year as a starter. The feeling was that he was underused in Toronto's scheme last season. Wally Buono told him that was part of the reason he wanted to bring him over, was to be able to use him a little bit more.
Short yardage play, 2nd and 4, straightforward again. Again, the Winnipeg defense is pretty good against the run. Winnipeg defense that has really been good for the most part. Kavis Reed. It's a first down for BC again. Probably one of the most feared front 4 in the league. You saw all those sacks from that foursome. Willis and Brown and Smith and Hunt.
Well, Philip Hunt is a guy who is certainly going to earn some attention in the discussion of the league's most outstanding defensive player, as well as Corey Banks, who we're seeing here today.
Maybe it will be the Winnipeg defense that supplies the spark. They need something. Final 30 seconds, third quarter. Lule stands in over the middle again, and once again, Mr. Reliable G-Roy Simon inside the red zone. Defiantly throws that ball in the air.
G-Roy Simon. Clutch times as here they get into the green zone. Look to put a little pressure on this Winnipeg defense. G-Roy Simon once again coming up big for the Lions.
Simon inching closer to another 1,000-yard season, has had 7 straight. First and 10 again. Lule, lots of protection. The O-line's done a good job for him. Arsenault. Touchdown! Emmanuel Arsenault.
That's how you kill him.
That's easy.
Do us right at the right time, the right way, baby. Let's go.
Right time, right way. And again, Lule with good time. Arsenault with his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Well, like Travis Lule up and over the top last week, how badly does Emmanuel Arsenault want to score? Whatever it takes.
BC Lions step on the Blue Bombers. That was the final play. Here comes the conversion. 3 quarters have been played. What hurts the Blue Bombers even worse right now is that they have never won this season when trailing after 3 quarters. They had the lead at the half, but the Lions explode in the 3rd quarter and lead 32-11.
The 200 mark essentially all in the last 2 quarters. The BC Lions big quarters, the 2nd and 3rd.
Just like last week, he seems to gain confidence with more reps. One thing Travis Lule is not short of is confidence, and there's the big difference between him and a young Alex Brink. As Emmanuel Arsenault was the latest to visit the end zone.
Stay tuned, TSN.
Just getting a chance to play and getting more confident. Didn't happen with Brink, and so Stephen Giles is going to try to stage some sort of comeback here in the 4th quarter. Mountain to climb now for the Bombers. A game that turned right off the opening kick of the 2nd half.
Well, it's the importance of special teams, 1/3 of the game. You could argue that it's been even bigger here in the 3rd quarter. Winnipeg starts with an attempted short kick. That's botched, giving BC great field position. followed by Giannis Davis returning a punt for a touchdown. And later, a botched punt fake by the Blue Bombers. Of that 15 minutes in the third quarter, aged special teams coordinator Kyle Walters by about 15 years.
Incredible how this game has turned. It can turn in a flash. That's CFL football for you. Incredible how this Bomber season also turned. Go back to that first month when they were 2-2 and everybody looked at this Winnipeg team as being a potential front runner even in the CFL East. And since that time, losers of 8 of their last 9 games. It's just fallen apart here.
Offensively, they've dealt with injuries to some key people. Obviously, the loss of Buck Pierce at quarterback is hurt, but Stephen Giles has been good. Terrence Jeffers-Harris a loss as well.
Giles, and open, making the catch, and some little extra yards after the catch. It's Corey Watson, Concordia receiver. First round pick, 9th overall by the Blue Bombers.
Stephen Giles, given an open receiver, he makes a play, and this is something that was missing through the first 3 quarters of this football game.
A minute and a half into the fourth quarter, the Bombers have their first pass completion of the second half.
Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Giles again, quick hitter, Brad Reed lunges. And now the Bombers trying to get their spark, and this was the guy who was supposed to be the leader. Buck Pierce, of course, injured and was working out earlier today. The former Lions starter.
Well, coming back from a dislocated elbow, suffered against Saskatchewan. Thought to be done for the year. Even last week he was still in his brace, but Pierce healing ahead of schedule, likely still done for the year.
Giles almost picked, and that goes to show you again how important the quarterback position is. Buck Pierce was the guy here. Came to Winnipeg and certainly had some injury issues from the past, but you know, coincidentally, the Bombers have not been able to win games since a guy who's been proven to win games